TikTok again?
Words of my mouth. Probably good now.
Okay. Hey guys. I just inhaled my spit. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
To our channel. We're a little bit of a hot mess today.
Thank you for watching our show.
Yes. We love each and every one of you. Probably not actually though.
7 out of 10.
Okay.
That's a good. 70% of you pass. The other 30%.
We just love your support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep watching.
Anyways, we are waiting on a guest host.
Coming today.
But I'm a little bit on a time crunch today, unfortunately. So we're gonna get it started
with some spicy tea, original style.
Original style.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah, so a lot of people like her, a lot of people don't like her. She's, she's recovering addict, right?
Multiple times recovering. This isn't, at least not
the first time. But she's come under some criticism lately because she went to a small, this is not like
family
a chain,
owned
frozen yogurt place, and was trashing them basically because they had diet options and like low sugar or no sugar
free
options.
Yep.
Which for one, if you're diabetic, you can't have the sugar. That's what a lot of people were saying. Like, so that's not. And for two, for people who want to lose weight but still want something sweet, diet options are great. So she was saying that it promotes unhealthy body image. So
like, when you
to tell
in,
people that they shouldn't,
because that was the first thing. Like the regular yogurt was in the back and sugar free was right up front. I agree with you, and that's what the people said back was, well, no, that's because we have a lot of diabetic people, and the family owners that own the shop actually are diabetic.
So it makes sense, right? But she literally went online and blasted them, a small owned thing for that. And a lot of people are saying, because she's had eating
disorders too,
and whatever. But people were saying okay, the world is not to revolve around your triggers. If something triggers you, you need to handle that internally. It's not their fault that it triggers you, kind of thing, which I 100% agree with.
Absolutely.
Because it's insensitive. It's insensitive to be like, oh, they shouldn't have these things. No, that's to catering to a large part of their customers.
Yeah.
And themselves too, because if they're diabetic, hello, everyone wants some frozen treats.
I love pinkberry. I know that's not really, maybe just frozen yogurt.
I don't know, but I love frozen yogurt regardless. But I thought that was very interesting because...
And she didn't even apologize, and we'll see if we can play a clip. But she did a video saying that, giving her explanation why. And she just said that she is a very opinionated person, and if something bothers her to a point that she feels like she needs to speak out, she feels like she has the right to speak her mind. So it was not an apology video.
No, I think that's bullshit. You damaged this business, a small business, because you were triggered by...
And the crazy fans are going to support her.
Yes.
I don't think she was intentionally probably doing that, but once you did it too, maybe she was, but she had the opportunity to go back and maybe fix it, or she could have reached out to the business owners individually. This isn't like a corporation. She could have literally just said...
I just think okay, so you want every single place to stop serving low-calorie stuff, sugar-free stuff, because...
Diet Coke is out the window now. All those diet sodas in the grocery store, it triggers me. I can't go in there now.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, and to get that worked up on, are you...
Gum and Tic Tacs are sugar-free. Oh, heaven forbid, we better close down the gas station aisles.
I don't know. I don't think that was okay for her.
So her apology didn't set well. I don't know how that
It wasn't even an apology, but...
So we'll see how that goes. I feel bad. I'm hoping that the people that own that place have enough support because of the backlash that she's getting.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because
during COVID, you should have... Apparently she made the big scene. She threw the yogurt down when she walked out the door. They didn't show that on TV.
She did?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
She left after she did that, and then when she did her little live tweet. So...
Something's wrong with that. Are you on drugs again, or why are you having that kind of a reaction to that?
No, right?
It's kind of insane.
It is insane.
I don't know. That makes me distasteful.
I do.
I used to like her a lot, and I don't like that.
It's too much.
I'm being so catty and petty right now, but her haircut is not it.
No, it isn't.
Is not it. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking then.
I don't know either.
But, well, when we come back, we should have our guest co-host here, and we will be right back. Well, welcome back, everyone. We have Derek Oliver here today. Welcome him to the show as, what is this, our 7th or 8th? No, not that many. 6th guest host?
Oh, guest host.
I don't know.
We're getting emotional.
Yeah.
I only know of 3, so.
Oh, maybe there's only 3 in my
Yeah, I think we only have, well, okay, Erica too.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's actually been 78.
Was that when the ratings tanked? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh!
Damn, shots fired.
Wow.
Don't edit that out.
Jesus.
Well, Derek, how are you?
I can't complain too much. Life is what it is, so.
What
That
is it?
doesn't sound positive.
It's always good and bad, so, you know, it has a mix of things. Things are going well, for sure.
I heard you're running a marathon in January?
Yeah, we're gonna be the second one. Yeah.
That's
How long?
insane to me.
Yeah.
Are these like 5Ks or?
No, a marathon, which is
26.2 miles.
26.2. Come on there, Michael.
yeah, that's a lot. That's why when Michelle told me, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
A funny story about those, just side story. You know those stickers that people have on the back of their cars? It's like 13.1, 20. I always thought these people had my same birthday, like 226. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's all these people born on February 26th. And I thought,
Wrong.
yeah,
No.
I learned. But continue. So tell me where this marathon's going to be at.
So it's gonna be in Phoenix. We like the area a lot. My friend Anthony's out there with his wife, so we chose to do it there. And I just really, for me, it's like I didn't bring it up because she's talking about wanting to run a marathon with me because she hasn't ran one and I have. But it ended up getting to the point where I really didn't want to do one again. Obviously, I was like, oh, I'm good. But then I was like, I need an actual fitness goal, or else I'm going to continue to BS. And Michelle's going to continue to leave me in the dust and everything, and being in shape right now. So.
Yeah, she is.
She's in really
a
good
powerhouse.
shape. She does burn like every day. So.
I know.
Her
She was telling us about all of her, how she counts her calories, and I was just like, I had Arby's that day, and I was sipping on a shake,
I
and
saw that part.
I was like, oh my lord.
These onion rings are fantastic.
Like,
We had cookies for lunch.
Oh, I did have
coffee.
cookies for lunch.
I've been a horrible influence on her.
Clearly not.
Yeah, she's doing great.
Maybe not the marathon, but everything else. She was way more dedicated and committed before she met me, really. It was, because at that time, she was getting up at 4:30 in the morning and going to burn before the kids would wake up and do all that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In the beginning of our relationship, we stuck to that, and then I'd have coffee in the morning with her every morning. And then after, 3 months or so, it's like I went out of town, went to Reno and Phoenix for a little bit, and when I came back, my sleep schedule was all messed up. And then it was just we started hanging out more at night than in the morning, and so then now she goes in the afternoon, and she's better off doing it in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I got her on these, which sucked. She hardly vaped before she met me too, and she does that all the time.
So you pretty much made her a drug addict.
We make a joke.
Oh my god, Nick.
Yeah. Good job, bro.
We make a joke that I'm a cancer. So
Well, you're a cancer giving her cancer with the.
I know, right?
Come on.
Oh my god.
I like to bring people down with me, but at least we have a good time.
But Michelle's not really wavered. You haven't been a bad influence on her. She still works out every day.
Yeah, no, she's
Does her thing.
she's badass. Michelle is honestly one of the most impressive people in my life. So.
We can
Yeah, we do too. I'm very impressed with her.
Better than me at working out for sure.
Anyone who works out, Sarah and I talked
Automatically
about. Yeah, I know.
we do not work out.
We don't do anything
at all.
It's not fun. I went to Burn.
doesn't look
I went to
fun.
Burn the other day, and Michelle was there. I was like, "How is she doing all this?" I was dying.
She gets off on it. She loves the challenge of it, especially when you push even more. It's like she loves it. She kicks my ass when we run 3 miles and stuff. It's
We're
bad.
over here just like, yep.
Yeah.
We like to push ourselves on Pokemon, like to the next level and catch
We
fill up
put
our
in the
Pokédex.
miles.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own interests. It works out.
And we do a lot of walking in that game.
In the game. In the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use my bike though.
There you go.
In the game.
I do a lot of running though, running from my problems.
I think we
Yeah,
all
mama.
do.
Yeah, she picks up her Truly. This is sponsored by Truly, by the way.
I'm an ultra marathoner in that.
Oh, that's funny. This is not sponsored by Truly.
I wish.
Yeah.
Next time.
Hit us up, dude. Hit us an email.
So what else has been going on? What's your daily day like right now?
The daily day.
Yeah, like what do you do?
Daily
I
activity.
work. I work and then I come back. I've been really lazy point as of late. I just work and I pretty much come back and do. I've been trying to get back into exercise again lately and playing basketball, playing tennis with my dad.
Oh, okay.
But right now it's been pretty just in all reality, the new relationship with Michelle, and that's really where my spare time goes. Like when I do, like I get back off of work and like hang out with her and the kids and stuff. So that's pretty much my life right now. I'm trying to put more exercise and establish routine because I need it. I thrive more in a structure, but I also bullshit like crazy.
I need that too, probably. I used to have these sheets. You remember I stopped pulling those out though. I need to start.
You stopped. You said you were doing fine.
I know. Well, this week was just. It was a hoo-hoo. But
what'd you do?
I stopped my little sheets. I need to start working on those again.
His therapist gives him sheets to like mark off.
You're like a routine.
Yeah.
Like literally, like
And make sure you
do your day, and if you don't do
cool.
it, then
That's good.
But you've been slacking on that?
yeah,
Why?
we ran out of ink.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah, I know. There's not enough pens in here. And my pencil sharpener broke last week.
Well, it did.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the luck?
Could you imagine?
I'm getting anxiety right now.
Oh my
The
god.
pencil sharpener?
Yeah.
I ran out of ink, but I guess I could write them down.
Oh, you mean like printing ink?
Yeah. Jeez.
You don't have your
like
feather?
a pen.
Your feather and the
My quill?
Quill.
Yeah, quill. Yeah, quill.
Your
I feel like that'd be
Sorry, I'm not from the 1400s. I don't know.
We are.
ignorant.
We are. Obviously, we're
I feel like the quill will be your style. It's got a lot of class. You know what I mean?
What?
Having
quill?
a quill and writing it down.
Yeah, that's
And dabbing it in the
magical.
ink. Honestly, I could see it.
And like in the movies when like shut the ink, I feel like it was such like a powerful thing after you're like writing this huge dissertation. You're just like,
And then you get the wax seal
Let's
out.
say that stamp.
oh
Right?
that. Yeah.
And then in 6 months, when they get that letter finally, they're gonna be really ticked.
I forgot.
Like, what did I say?
When's the last time you sent a letter?
Never. Ever. We had pen pals from like in like 4th grade.
Yeah.
And like I knew this kid from Cambodia or something.
Probably like 5 or 6
No, he was
years.
probably from Massachusetts. I don't know.
I like the Cambodia version better.
Yeah, we'll edit that out.
My mom even write thank you letters, like for gifts and stuff when I was younger. That's about the last time.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. Oh, I sent out Christmas cards. I did. That's
get
kind of a letter.
That email has
That's
really
kind of
been.
family. Because I didn't get them gifts, Michael. I had to get them a letter or something.
The card was the gift.
Yes, yeah.
There's something
My
genuine
love.
about it, but
I like writing letters. I do it and then I never mail them. Like Anna Anami and I used to write letters back and forth, but she got mad because she would send them to me, and I get real excited, write down what my response, and then I would just set it there, and then it just piled up. And
Is that kind of like writing a hateful tweet? Like, oh, I'm gonna send this out, and then like, I'm just gonna delete it. Like,
Maybe.
throw it out. Yeah.
I mean, ours were like
that's
nice
healthy.
letters.
Like it is.
Yeah, I
healthy.
bet people
Get
in
your
the
feelings
1400s
out
did
there.
that all the time. Like, wrote down a laundry list of stuff. I'm just like, I'm not gonna send that. It's like, be gone, pigeon. It's over.
Pigeon.
Yeah. What else? Oh, maybe a
Bird
bird
stuff. You
Yeah,
know.
bird mail.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't.
Bird.
I don't have a
If I
train
was on
bird yet.
Twitter, I would think, it would still be on Twitter,
Yeah.
even if neither.
Why not?
Never mind.
We're starting it up. Everybody go follow Michael Sorenson on Twitter. We're gonna start his account back up.
Probably not a
Uh-oh.
good idea.
Probably not a good idea at all. Well, what else got going on with you, Derek?
You just asked him like 10 times.
I know.
Well,
he's not answering.
He's got to
my
get down
questions.
to the details.
So you're working every day, and then you're
Yeah.
seeing Michelle, and you're learning the basketball stuff.
Mhm.
Have you been following anything that's been going on outside of that, or?
I actually disabled my Facebook about a couple months ago because I realized I spent way too much time, and social media just kind of brings me down pretty heavy. And I
That's what Michelle was saying too.
yeah, it's like I have Instagram still because I can go follow like kind of the NBA stuff that I follow, and it's like I can actually see the stuff I want to, but I really don't like what I see on social media because it's a lot of people.
Why is it different on Instagram than like Facebook?
Because I guess Facebook right now, because the way I hardly follow anybody on Instagram, and so it does the suggested post thing now. So it's like it pops up with stuff that's like more my interest, and it's cool to keep up with people.
Yeah.
But with Facebook, that just obviously people that have like accumulated friends over time, and just different people in their lives, and you see a bunch of opinions that are, again, from everybody that doesn't know what they're talking about, and everybody likes to be hateful, and everybody is the author of their own epic nowadays, and it makes me want to throw up. So, and everyone hits us, my heart aches. It's like, oh my gosh, like shut
So
up.
does mine.
Edgar Allan Poe, chill out. Like, you got it.
Allan Poe.
Like, get out of here.
Oh god.
I don't know if I'd be
I
able to do
understand
that.
that, though.
I think
What?
it'd be healthier to.
I do it for the memes. Facebook is what I look at all.
And that's why it was tough to get off, right?
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
like the people I do care about, like my friend Anthony and like them having their child and stuff like that. And I'd log in, or we went to what wedding was it? Zach and Ashton's wedding. Getting on seeing the pictures for that too and everything. So that was really cool. But like keeping myself off, it's nice because you look at the time and you're on your phone. And it's like I spent 3 hours on Facebook today. I'm like, ooh, that's not good.
3 hours on Facebook?
Just like when I was still using it because it's just it's just the scroll.
Yeah.
It's just like checking the fridge, right? They say it's like, and then it's just like update and then this. And then this, and you see different things, and it's like, oh my gosh.
I'm probably worse at checking the fridge.
Are you?
I definitely am worse at that.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Food.
So y'all know Queen Elizabeth turned like 100 today, right?
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
No way!
We talk about the.
I thought she.
No, not actually 100. She looks like she.
Jane,
I was gonna say,
She was born in 1926. So anybody have quick math in their head?
No, I'm not good at math.
Is it 84 or 94?
Yeah,
95. Because it's 2021.
Yeah.
What?
So she was born April 21st, 1926. It is 2021.
74 plus 21.
9.
Yeah.
5.
I can't do the math. I can just...
95, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we didn't talk about this
Math
either
is
though.
hard.
But what is her? Oh God, her husband.
Prince Philip?
Philip. Yes.
So first birthday without him.
Did we talk about this?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so I didn't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense because like royal people do this, but he was her cousin.
Yeah, a third cousin.
I didn't know that. And then they're like talking about it, and someone on the news was like, "So to bring us back to when they met," and the like other guy was like, "Well,
They showed up
they
to a
were
family
related."
again.
And everyone's like, "Oh."
So, back in the day, like to keep bloodlines pure, they used to marry brothers and sisters.
I mean, I knew
Real
that.
incest.
And like first cousins, I knew that.
Third cousin's still incest,
But yeah, but I didn't know. I don't know why, because they're old as hell.
I thought that was something that was just like reserved for Alabama, but I guess English.
That's why
Mississippi too. Mississippi too. Let's calm down.
Yeah. But they had
It's ironic. It's ironic we're in the Bible Belt, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
And then you swing up to Cheerio, England. But is it really her birthday today?
Yeah, that's her birthday.
Oh, that must be a hard week for her after she just married him, and then the funeral was very weird. It was peaceful, but it was very odd because they had his whole kingdom. He had a different royal line than her. That's why he was never king.
Related.
Mm-hmm. And so they had obviously his guards on one side, and then they were separated by like 6 feet, of course, and then they had their other guards, and then the queen was just by herself in this little kind of like what the Pope travels around in, the on cage thing. What is it called?
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a big plastic bubble thing.
It's like what the Pope Mobile.
Yeah.
Pope-mobile.
But that must have been a hard week for her. But I don't know if she'll probably, this is sad, but most people don't live much longer after their spouse dies.
Well, actually, it's the opposite. Well, men typically don't last longer
after the wife
dies, but the wife usually goes on an average of like 10 years more than the male.
So 105?
Because we're stronger.
Well, I'm not saying every case is 10 years, but
yeah,
on average, I think it's more than 10 years.
How come you know that?
Because women are backstabbers, So like once we die, it's like, oh, finally. Once the woman dies, the men are like, can't go on without you. And then we go on.
How do you feel about that?
Obviously a joke, guys.
Are you joking? No.
Yes.
Just because it's on my mind when you're talking about incest earlier, didn't they disprove like any sort of genetic defect once it's like first cousins?
What's his third cousins?
Is it third cousins?
Third cousins.
I think even
there's like a 1% chance of defect.
I thought that one of the guys was second. It was
The
completely
numbers aren't exactly correct, but it's like a very
Allegedly.
But first that's like a very Alabama news update right there, Derek. But first cousins, I think, still have a very high chance of.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, back when in England when they were doing like brother and sisters, they had one king that was so like deformed that his jaw wouldn't close. It was deteriorating. Yeah, he was 14. He was 14 years old as the king. And he died.
14
Yeah, he died like 16, but because he was so messed up from incest.
That's why you don't do that.
That's why King Tut had to use a cane.
Yeah, because he was so. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I totally knew that.
I'm just thinking about
Yeah, totally. He was mummified at like 7.
I don't
know.
No, but super young. And then
Yeah.
it was surprising when you brought that up because I would not think that's still occurred outside of Arkansas, Alabama.
Yeah, I didn't think that's why I was like, what? I thought they were joking.
Oh, that's
first.
still everywhere.
No. Yeah.
I would hope not.
Just the places you don't hear about, or
just a really
the backwoods. Like it's again, it's just there are people still doing a ton of stuff that you think's eradicated nowadays.
Oh yeah,
a ton.
I don't want to think about that.
I was about to say, not in our little bubble here.
Our little bubble.
Our little bubble.
I'm sure it happens.
Well, one of the things that I know, for looking at the Queen right now, Meghan Markle, and you're the one who told me this, the reason why she did not attend the funeral was because of the do not fly list, because she was pregnant. Aren't you?
Yeah, her doctor told her not, like, it wasn't recommended to fly.
She's still getting backlash.
Well, because people said, oh, Megan's not showing up to the funeral because she's a bitch, basically. But that wasn't true. Her doctor told her, like, if you want to keep this baby healthy, you probably should not fly.
She would have zoomed in.
That's why.
Just put me up front.
You know those little iPad rolling things with the segways?
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
I really want one of those. Just so I could come see everyone. And
aren't you vaccinated? You can go see people now.
He's
my
getting a
final
second
shot tomorrow.
Which one was it? The Moderna?
Pfizer.
Pfizer? Well, at least it wasn't Johnson & Johnson.
No, we all know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that unfortunately only affects women.
Wow.
Only women?
But it's only with them that they will get the risk of blood clots.
I haven't read into that.
So it's one of those things that they're not really sure why still. But I mean, it's a different, I won't get into the genetics of it, it's a different DNA, mRNA complex that they use to deliver that vaccine. But I know it's still on hold, but I'm hoping, and I told you guys this, I got sick last time. Not like sick, but it really did hurt. So this time around, fingers crossed.
I don't think you'll get sick for the second shot.
I sure hope not.
You got those antibodies.
And all those spike proteins all around in me.
I was about to say, and you've had it, so you probably still have antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Antibodies club. Woo woo.
Yeah, I'm hoping I still have them.
Most people.
No, not you. You don't have them anymore.
How do you know?
You're too
I'm
big.
a scientist.
I goes out way quicker. Only for Pokemon, though.
Pokemon.
Am I Pokemon? If I was a Pokemon, what Pokemon? Don't answer that.
Oh, I already have.
Snorlax.
Don't answer that.
Absolutely.
I was so fast. Oh, please.
You played yourself.
All right, Snorlax. That's fine. I like to sleep, and I'm a big guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Michael B.
Say.
Look at that.
I was gonna say Snorlax.
You're a
Said
piece
the
of crap,
shit.
Michael. I was gonna curse, but there's probably children watching. I hate
I hope children aren't
French children.
Yeah.
French.
And the Ohioans.
Y'all could have said
sure.
like a champ or something.
That's what I said. I said
Did
that.
you? Thank you,
Yes.
Sarah. You're the only one on the panel I like.
Well, that's understandable. I'm not.
What did I call you one time? You
What?
it was just a fun word to say. He has the fan,
What?
the Pokemon
The
with the
fan.
fan, and the other one has like a little ball.
We're talking
Jamie, pull it up.
the fan.
A Rangaroo.
Orangutan. It's a. Oh my god! It's like an orangutan, basically, and that's like. I don't even know why
You were
called
sitting
that.
cross-legged one day, and and you were doing something like this, and I was like,
Probably 'cause it was hot up here.
yes.
There's not one on here. I can't find him.
A Pokemon with a fan.
Yeah, that's all I have. That's all I googled.
Orangaroo is what it's called.
Orangaroo?
Don't pull it up. Either.
We're talking just the first 151 guys.
No.
This-
This is generation what?
8, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
Damn.
What Pokemon will Michael be? From the original.
No.
I can't think of anything clever.
The original?
Yeah, from the original.
I feel like I'd be
I
a
want to say
Magikarp.
Wobbuffet, but I don't know.
Lava Fett.
Wobble. That's probably right.
That's actually really funny.
That's pretty close. Lava Fett was
Go
really
with that.
stupid though, so that's kind of messed up.
I
I
mean,
mean.
so
Good guy, I mean.
let us know what
Alright.
Pokemon you think we are. That would be a fun thing for y'all to do.
Fun for us.
Yeah. If you send us a picture of you, we'll see, tell you what Pokemon we think you are.
That's actually a good idea. We'll
Don't
do that.
send us pictures.
Don't send. Oh, that guy's an Ekans. Oh.
You beat me to the joke. Gosh dang it. I was over here still trying to figure out how to make that work. That was good. That was solid. I can't even mad at that.
No words.
You did that way better than I ever would have.
Thank you.
So what else do we have to talk about today? You don't know?
Nope, I have no idea.
Nice.
Well,
I come on the show and you
I
get
didn't-
prepared.
I didn't plan anything, and
There's plenty of stuff to talk about. I mean, how controversial do you guys want to get?
Well, we didn't want to talk about the shootings because it's so sad. And
Well, I'm just glad. What's his name got?
Oh yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. For a minute.
Did you post it? The one where he has
my-
mugshot and the guy in the
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
with the guy with the Ekin snake behind him. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Who is that man?
You know that guy that sits
It's,
on the bed with the long piece?
It's
With a massive dome.
The meme. The guy that's like,
No.
It is a meme, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Rest in peace, by the way. That guy died.
I don't know if we'll be able to show that one, but
Probably all the
Well,
blood was
no, you
going down
won't
there.
see
And
it.
it was not going to live
Yeah.
long.
No. Circulation was terrible.
Jesus.
Yeah.
she was a real person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll pull it up.
please don't.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, yes, I'm glad that happened. We were watching it yesterday the entire time, and
Michael thought there was gonna be a civil war.
I did. Only because there was
Yeah.
so much preparedness. I guess that's one of the things that maybe that's a good thing, but I thought it was odd that they mobilized all the cities. They've shut down so much in preparation for this. And
Yeah. There would have been riots.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, my girl Wendy, she's made a good point today. This is only trial 1 of 4. I mean, technically they still have to get through the other ones too. So,
Wait, what do you mean?
the 3
people
other
that are
officers.
involved.
The other officers.
Oh, right, okay.
So yes, this is I
thought you
think
meant
a
with
huge
him, also.
victory for justice, but there's still a lot more. So I don't know if that's going to be coming to an end anytime soon, but it's just a lot of things going on with that trial. But I think people are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
So that's and the verdict time on everything, 10 hours to do that verdict. That was like incredible. Like you thought it was too long?
Yeah.
Normally,
I don't know.
those
I don't
cases,
know.
they
It takes a long
Yeah.
time because you have to, obviously the state has burden of proof, so
Mhm.
they have to prove with beyond a reasonable doubt that he was actually guilty of it.
But like, he was. I feel like
No argument there.
Yeah, I mean,
But they still, I think they did it in a way that was.
There's all the legal
definitely
process behind.
expedited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all the legal process and everything they have to go through just to make sure. I mean, that's the reason why the system's in place the way it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I like that it's in place because obviously, say it was somebody that wasn't guilty of something, but you have this huge mob that's after this guy. It's like, oh, he did this wrong, he did this
Yeah.
wrong, but like,
Mhm.
then it's more guilty by your peers than like actually being found guilty in a court of law. So you get the Twitter mob against you that, oh, this guy's a homophobe or whatever, so he did this, and you can convict somebody off of that. So there's checks and balances to that. So I think we need that in place.
And I wonder if the jury, those people who are on the jury, if they'll ever like be released, name wise. You don't think so? Because I don't even saw the jury on the thing, so I don't know where they were during the court.
They might.
But
They do that for their safety, though, just in case it was.
What did you just say?
I said Secret Service, but that's not what the
Witness
word.
protection.
Yes, yeah. So I said it quietly, so I wasn't sure.
I'm in witness protection.
Are you?
Yeah,
Well, they keep them private. I'm in witness protection. You probably would be, honestly.
I know. Am I right?
His name's not even Michael. It's Michelle.
I was about to say. Michelle.
Does that mean I'm with Michael? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, this whole time.
I always knew it, Derek. I always knew it.
Son of a bitch.
Well, you did take my wife, so
That's fine.
How many wives do you have? Are you more?
I earned
I
her.
know, I'm like,
She was backup number 4.
Whoa.
oh my god, after, who's the first one, Cecilia or Sierra?
It was Cecilia,
Yeah.
Anna.
Anna!
Whoa,
Was
Sierra's
one of
third
them.
string.
Well, it was just I want to throw a big wedding.
There you
Jump
go.
out of an airplane.
I'm assuming it's going to be in Utah.
Oh.
Because you're Mormon. You have multiple wives.
What? Not official. They're like backup wives.
Yeah, no, but you said you want to have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna marry them all.
Oh.
It was just in case. I'm always planning. Like yesterday, I had bags packed again in case of a civil riot.
Right. Oh my.
So
Hi.
You're a prepared guy, Michael.
always be prepared. I was from Boy Scouts
You were in Boy Scouts?
for 3 years.
Oof.
The only preparedness I have is I moved in with him. If things go to hell,
Machamp will take care of you.
obviously natural selection has been trying to get me for a long time. So,
All of a sudden, I'm Machamp, not Snorlax.
Nick, let's go!
Go, bro!
Get out of here!
All right. Well,
we take a break.
We're going to take a break and we will be right back.
We get to commercials. Truly passion fruit.
So here, Sarah is going to be joining us again later on in the show as we talk about Demi Lovato and her cupcake wars. So, but right now while I have Derek here, one of the things that is going on all over the news, and it's awful, nothing seems to be happening or not happening, but gun violence, all of a sudden mass shootings have, I think there's been 12 now since the beginning of the year. And I can name like Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, just recently this week.
I thought everything was supposed to be fixed when Biden became president. Everything was supposed to be, at peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything, all the problems were supposed to be solved. Trump caused all negative emotions and violence amongst all people. All the time.
All the time?
Not a Trump fan, by the way, disclaimer.
I see there was an active shooter at the HelloFresh in Noonan.
Correct.
Yeah, so right in our backyard.
So do you think these are because of the social unrest that's going on, or do you think it's more because of the restrictions on things that have been lifted? People weren't allowed to congregate, so who are you going to shoot? I'm not saying anyone, you should, but if there's no one out, then...
Yeah.
But there were still people going out, so it's not like there was not people to be shot.
So why do you think there were no... I'm not saying there weren't any, but why weren't there many mass shootings last year? And all of a sudden, there were
mass shootings last year.
There were, but they weren't as politicized as they are this year.
Maybe that's
the problem.
I don't.
The thing
I'm gonna go and look up the numbers.
It's the coverage on these things, and it's the reason why even when it comes to like suicide, what they did is like their whole thing they did on it is that they stopped publicizing suicide and ratings went down. Like they stopped popularizing it. They stopped like showing it, and like it actually started going down. As soon as they keep publicizing mass shootings and they keep putting mass shootings up, people see that. People see that as an option.
Programming their minds.
Yeah.
So, according to Wikipedia, there were 614 mass shootings in 2020.
What considers a mass shooting again?
More than 3 people, I think.
And like injured or dead?
Dead, I'm pretty sure.
If you're looking at that map, that's ridiculous how concentrated it is. And, the Midwest is just peaceful. But right now, I would
they just
say,
have space.
Yeah, they're not close together. I really think it's because all these people are being brought together now.
And a lot of what you see there too, though, a lot of it's again just heavy populated areas, and so that's a lot of California right there.
California, New York. Now the one that was in Indianapolis, I'd love for your opinion on this. It was the kid, 19 years old. He was already being investigated by the FBI prior to this. Do you know his name or that story at all?
Vaguely, like I've heard a little bit, but I don't know anything about it.
Shot and killed 8 people and then killed himself. Yeah. But he literally was investigated by the FBI during this process, yet he still was able to buy a gun while being investigated.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
I don't know if that's not okay.
There's things are going to slip through the cracks, especially with over 300 million people. But it's like, for me, it's like I'm not anti-gun or pro-gun, really. It's just, it's not my thing. But
would you own one?
It's hard not to nowadays. Like, I don't own one now, but I feel like I should. Because, like, having the ability to defend yourself is so really important.
You need it.
You need it. And I think it just comes to, like, it's tough because I definitely understand where people are coming from. But I just really don't think that taking away all guns is going to solve the problem. I don't think it's that simple. I think because I told people before, I think a lot of the issues we have, and I think the biggest thing that COVID's shown is our lack of critical thinking, and so really just a flaw in our education system, and also a lot of people's ability to they don't know how to research themselves properly. A lot of people are just very misinformed, and how easily swayed we are about everything they see. Because again, it's about convenience. Like, they see their news on Facebook, what's pushed in front of them. They don't go any further than that. And in an age of...
That's why we watch Wendy, guys.
That's the real stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's unfiltered. That's a no spin zone right there.
No spin zone. It is.
But continue. I agree with you. The pushing of the news and the media, that is why I've read this.
It's even worse now because social media, media is one thing that's curated by a single person. Or a single entity, but social media is an algorithm that whatever you click on, they're gonna keep sending you more of that shit. Yep. So it's you're into Black Lives Matter, so we're gonna send you more stuff about this, and police shootings, and then if you're like into like anti-Biden stuff, and like they're gonna say all the right-wing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of confirmation bias by these people that like, because they know it's about clicks. So it's like, we're gonna send you this, so we got more advertiser revenue. Mm-hmm. So social media is probably the main thing.
Culprit behind it.
I would think so. It's worse than the regular media.
But what you said is, I guess, is true. Then, if that's your only source of news, then you have to look at everything. But I mean, then when I'm trying to cut down on news because it's one of those things.
It's all entertainment. Like it's all entertainment. It's a business, and it's a consequences. Like, you know, obviously I don't know a lot about like the economic side of things, like political side of stuff. But it's like capitalism was regarded by America anyway. It's like the best like way to think about to go about things. But every system has its flaws, and in a system where everything is run like money is everything. Mm-hmm. Like it gives you, and because like Nick had talked about the other day, we were talking about is. Like, it's about freedom. And money gives you freedom. And it gets like, you know, live the life you want to live, do what you want to do, experience you want to experience. And so it's like when the society that runs purely on money, like, at what point, like, we can blame the media. It's like, oh, the media is this, the media is this, media is this. And everyone can talk about how horrible the media is, but it's like, we're buying it. So, like, at what point do we hold ourselves accountable? You know, like, if it sells, like, it's the same people that sit there and they cry about, it's like, oh, it's like, this whole thing should teach us that, like, sports players aren't essential. Like, teachers, doctors are. It's like you're going to be mad about how much money they make. It's an entertainment business. You buy the jerseys. You post about their games on Sundays. Last time I checked, you're not wearing a teacher's name on your back, and you're not watching surgeries on TV.
That'd be
like, it's like...
I have Discovery Plus, and I love watching that.
Like, honestly, though, if they live stream surgery, I bet they'd be able to monetize it pretty fast.
Yes.
And that's good idea. You're welcome, doctor.
And that's where it goes. It's like people get mad about entertainment making money. It's like the same people that bitch about actors having so much, like, you know, being so popular, making so much money. It's like, you watch their movies. Like, you're providing the business. Like,
so with that in mind, if you're saying entertainment, let me take, for example, I don't know her name. She has the same stats as not LeBron. Who's a
woman?
It's a woman, but who's compared the same.
You're talking about the WNBA?
Yes, and her paycheck is $200. It's literally nothing compared to.
Absolutely not.
But so why? Because they get more entertainment. They get more. It's screen time.
It's business. It's like WNBA games don't pack the stands. Like, they don't get viewer love. And I'm somebody who loves the NBA, and it's tough for me to watch the WNBA. I don't slight them. From what I've heard on their argument on it, is that even I feel like, because like everyone likes to be like, oh, you just don't get enough views, so you don't make enough money. But they've actually, like, from what I've seen, they like to pull the percentages and like how much percentage, even of the money they do make, they see less of it than the players in the NBA do. But players in the NBA have like established, like, it's grown to this point where like players control the league.
It's a brand. It's their business.
If LeBron, before all of this happened, like when they were bringing the league back, because they started. Because they canceled the season a little bit because of COVID, and then like they went to the bubble and they had a really short off season. They're gonna lose a lot of money, so they brought it
back in the games now.
Yes, some. They like to say partial attendance. I actually got to go to a Nuggets Hawks game this year. It was pretty cool.
What was that like?
It was nice. Like I actually accidentally. So I bought. David and I were gonna go because we always go to the Hawks Nuggets game. He's a Hawks fan. I'm a Nuggets fan, and we were gonna go, and then he was like, because like the limited seating prices were like, you know, $200 a seat, and he was like, well, we're not gonna do it this year. You're trying to save money. And after a while, I was sitting on it. I called him. I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, I'm gonna buy the tickets. I don't care. Let's go. Like, we gotta go. Like, it's like both of our teams are actually good this year, and
when you went, were there the paper cutouts, and there were just some people?
No, yeah, there wasn't any paper cutouts or anything.
But
there was some like. What?
With the paper cutouts right now. I find that hilarious.
You see that more in baseball, and they did it for the playoffs in the NBA last year too, because we have a lot of coverage, and like, just, I guess what they did, and they had cutouts of like family members and stuff there, so it was pretty cool.
I wanted to buy one for the Super Bowl because you could buy it, and I just wanted to see myself sitting in the stands and be like, "Hey guys,
that'd be hilarious."
I'm there,
like,
but I'm not.
2 middle fingers up, like. It's like,
but they were costing like $500 for like a fake seat,
That's
essentially.
Insane.
Yeah,
and
the NBA too, but they did virtual fans, which was really cool. Like, cool. Yeah, so you just be on Skype and like you're on the screen, like where the seat would be, type of thing. So
yeah,
like, well, I guess not where the seat would be, but on the screen there's a bunch of different fans and stuff, and you can log in as a virtual fan, which is really cool. Yeah, little stuff like that, which I like, but you know, I didn't get on. But
would you go to another one of those games now?
Oh, absolutely. But it was really cool, and that was my story actually. So like I was like, I'll buy it, and so it was supposed to be. I was like, oh, I can get $170 a ticket. I can only buy them in packs of 4, so I got Devontae and Michelle to go with me as well. And then so it's like $170 a ticket, and all of a sudden it was like my total was $900 something, and I'm like, well, the math doesn't add up. But at that point I was like, I don't care. I was like, it is what it is. Maybe it's just increased because COVID and stuff like that. Like I didn't think about it. I was like, okay, so we're gonna go to this damn game. All right. And so I saw there on the receipt, and per ticket it was like a $50 service charge, and I'm like, hey, what?
Whoa.
I was like, on top of each ticket, I was like, why? But I didn't think about it, right? I was like, I'm just gonna buy the tickets. I don't care. And so we went, get our ticket scanned, do our thing. We go, and the lady's like, oh, you're in the Atlanta social section. You're up there to the left. And I'm thinking like, all right. Like I just didn't think about it much at the time. And then we got our ticket scanned again, going into the section, and I walked in, and it's like really nice, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I bought premium seats. That's what.
You go.
And so we figured out at the bar there was a bottomless beer and wine. Like
wow.
All you could drink, and it was free food. Like so, well, obviously you pay the $50 service charge, right? That's what that was.
Yep.
And so you get free food. And it's like it's not just bullshit food you typically get at the games. Like it was like a buffet, like kind of line. Like there was octopus salad and stuff, like actual high quality. Yeah, like weird
Octopus
salad.
Yeah.
Like there was like actual food.
Actual food.
Yeah.
Octopus salad.
But again, it just wasn't like the same typical shit. And so
I imagine like a box.
Yeah,
kind of like that thing.
Yeah, because there was each seat, there was decent space. They were cushioned, like there was outlets, like there was a little table on the side.
Those are nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so I basically wine and dine David.
There you go.
Do you guys
Honestly, I earned it.
So that's a no. You didn't get lucky.
No, I had to settle for Michelle again.
Yeah, it happened.
No, it was cool. Honestly, now I'm spoiled because I don't want to experience a game again without that. It was super cool. Again, by the time, for all the money you'd spend on like buying beer and stuff like that,
like
and
$50 was worth it.
Yeah,
for sure.
well
per
worth
person. Because what, $12 a beer for a little one, you get 2 of those, and then $20 for food.
And so all you can drink, and they don't stop serving until like halfway through the fourth quarter. So it's like you have all game.
If it's unlimited, I'm getting hammered.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, don't make your money back.
I'm like, somebody else driving.
That's what David said, because we were sitting there talking because we're trying to figure it out. It's like, so like, we were about to pull our card. He goes, oh no. He goes, it's like, it's complimentary. And David goes, like, all you can drink. He goes, yeah. He goes, so beer's complimentary, wine's complimentary. And he goes, like, liquor, 1 shot is like $8, 2 shots, 16. And David goes, stop. He goes, all you had to say was beer was complimentary. He goes, I'll take.
That would be dangerous.
It's like, why the hell would I pay for liquor?
There's 30 beers.
There's free beer. There's free alcohol.
That wine collection's about to be gone by the time I'm leaving that store.
Wine was complimentary too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bottle.
Give me your bottle. Give me your finest red one.
There was a guy that after like one of the second times we went up there, we heard him, and like he ended up getting a liquor drink, like a mixed drink of some kind, and he walked off, and we heard him walking off. He was like, oh, that beer was free? He goes, oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
He is. $8 for... And you know those bartenders aren't pulling from real shots. So.
No. It's literally water. It's probably watered down, too.
1, 2.
You could tell we were kind of out of place, though, because we're not typically the type of people that go into those type of sections. Yeah. Because, like, everyone there like...
could be.
Yeah, we could. But, again, people that typically pay for those type of seats and stuff, I guess people a little more bougie, I guess. And even the people that are there that interact with us are like, we like y'all. And it's like, really? Obviously we're just like walking around, happy-go-lucky, like we're just here to watch a game.
Not worried about impressing anybody.
No,
I feel like those people are like, oh, I gotta look a certain way.
Yeah. And you know, with me, Michelle,
those
David,
people just suck, don't they?
Maybe not Devontae, they did swagging her all the time.
Yeah,
but like me, Michelle, David are like, dressed up as we would for a Hawks game, or Hawks and Nugget shirts and shorts and whatever.
Last time, right before the pandemic hit, me and Natalia went to the Hawks Knicks game. I think it was the Knicks, might have been somebody else.
Yeah.
But we had, there were cheap seats, but there was nobody sitting courtside, so we moved down to about the 6th row. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, nobody ever said anything, so we just sat there.
You actually get to see how small you are, these people.
Yeah, exactly. Now we were talking to people around it. They're pretty cool, but it was a fun time.
That's pretty cool.
Hit the hard upgrade, yeah.
The only games that I ever went to, one of my best friends growing up was the DJ for the Stars. So we used to go to every hockey game. That's only my experience that I know. But I love those boxes.
Yeah.
They're nice, and
they're
the
usually
buffets. I've never had octopus salad there. But
yeah. What's nice about those seats is they end up being good view too. It's like we were half court off to the side, like good view of the players. Like it's like I'm gonna do this every time.
And like I said, if that's $50 was all that, you already made that up, because I probably would have already spent $75 by myself just
Absolutely.
not for shitty beer. And
Yeah, exactly.
you probably got the good stuff, and that was even better.
I drank shitty beer because the beer that they have there is still like it's the cheaper beer. It's like you have like Michelob and Yingling and stuff like that, and like you still have Budweiser and everything too. But
Oh my God, I remembered.
what you want to talk about?
I just remembered. Thank goodness. Yes, and you brought it to the whole point. We're talking.
Michael show.
You're fired, sir.
The All-Star game. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Being moved.
Oh,
And
you're talking
now.
You're talking about the baseball?
Yeah. So now, like, they have all those companies or whatnot. I believe it's Coca-Cola. There were a few other ones. Home Depot did not show up. So now, all over the news, they are calling for Georgia to stop buying Home Depot stuff. And they're wanting to even go farther and get money from the wherever stadium, Truett Park.
Yeah.
Is that where it would have been
Yeah.
at? They want to take money that would go into Truett Park to then.
Truist or whatever.
Yeah. And
It's like the bank or whatever. I don't know.
it's the bank,
It's-
Truist.
It's Truist. It used to be like SunTrust and BB&T or something. And
Right,
they
right.
merged, Yeah.
They changed it again.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
And this was supposed to be their opening name, like event,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. It's like the first year at the. Well, they've been in the stadium for 2 years,
I think so. I
3,
think it's
but
two.
this is the first All-Star game they were going to host.
For a long time.
So what was the exact
Probably
reason
for
they
a while.
wanted to pull it from Atlanta?
Because of the voting laws that they signed into effect, the religious leaders from communities.
So, see, that's what I like. I'm not informed enough to know exactly every single detail of like the law that was in place. But from what I saw, I didn't see anything actually unreasonable. Like I saw
Comes down to having your ID,
like voter ID.
but
I
you do
saw
that
that.
in person anyways.
Yeah, like,
And it was water and food handing out. They don't want to be able to do that anymore.
is that really it?
And the amount
Those
of
were the
days.
changes?
The other ones are so minute. Maybe they're not to other people. So they like, for example, there were 25 boxes for absentee ballot voting, and now there's only going to be 20 instead of 26. And instead of doing early voting, now it goes later instead of earlier in the morning. So instead of opening at 7, for example, I think it opens at 9, but it stays open till 9 at night.
Yeah,
And they got the weekends to vote too.
yeah.
So, but they feel like it is infringing upon, and maybe it is, maybe I'm not informed enough to know that, but I think that what they have done now is they've taken $100 million out of a city that really needs help.
Yeah.
And that money is now going to Colorado, I believe, or
Yep. It's it actually it's a Coors Field. Is it Coors now? No, it's no, it is Coors. I believe it's still Coors Field.
So now they're asking to boycott, Coke products, Home Depot. So now you're telling people not to shop at stores that then are paying your
Atlanta-based.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atlanta-based, yeah.
And
So where's the win? I think I'm just confused.
I think it's a way bigger loss than people even imagine.
it is because they don't understand it.
Because
Like,
all right,
I'm
so
not acting
the-
like I do.
yeah,
but
these are. I pulled up what the Georgia voting laws really do. So these are the changes. So we have them like bulleted. Voters will now have less time to request absentee ballots. So like if they're not going to be at the poll, they have less time to actually get that paperwork to put a vote in. There's strict new ID requirements for absentee ballots, which I agree with. You should have an ID. You shouldn't just be able to like, hey, my name is Jackoff. Let me get a
Because,
when you do it in
anybody
person.
can vote, you cannot be a citizen and still vote at that
Yeah.
point. Like restrictions aren't a bad thing
Yeah.
there. Like
It is now illegal for election officials to mail out absentee ballot applications to all voters. So what this, I think this is kind of where it becomes a problem for the left. This is why they're deeming it racist. So this year in Georgia, it was a real big deal from, what was her name?
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. So she was really good and kind of made a career,
She
a
did
second
that.
career for herself, like winning Georgia. So she pushed out those absentee ballots and made sure to get everybody possible to vote for the left. Which, congrats to her, she did a great job for her district, whether you agree
Absolutely.
with her or not.
absolutely, she did her job.
Yeah, exactly. So but now it's illegal for you because you're essentially, if you're like, hey, you're essentially telling these people who to vote for.
You are.
So like when during Obama's second term, what they were doing, they were taking people from old folks' homes, putting them on a bus, feeding them, and putting them to the polls. So there's a little bit of conflict of interest because you're kind of swaying who you vote for. I'm sure there was some old people on there that voted for the right, but it's like
you're whining and dining them, and
exactly.
then asking them
Yeah,
to
it's
make
like
a choice.
who voted? Who are you gonna vote for? Well, who brought us here?
I'm gonna vote for the person who brought me that chicken.
So I mean, I kind of agree. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that either. Like, you should make it available to everybody, but you shouldn't push that.
She did
a great job.
She did a good.
I don't obviously I don't agree with her views, but she did her job.
I commend her
tremendous
for her stuff.
Yeah.
She's actually a nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize this year.
Why?
I don't think she should get that, but
Why?
yes, for voting, for getting people to vote. Yeah.
Wasn't Trump a nominee too?
No.
At
Maybe
one
that
point,
whole
a
thing
long
is
time ago,
No.
like in the initial.
Oh, maybe early on. Well, you know who else was
Adolf Hitler, right?
Yeah, Adolf Hitler
Yeah,
was also
exactly.
I think Wendy and Ellen should be on there.
early voting is expanded in all small counties, so that helps. But the real problem I have with it, it's like you're taking the All-Star game away from a predominantly black city.
Correct.
So like all the revenue, all the jobs, those are essentially going to go to mostly African Americans, and if not minorities, and now you're putting in Boulder, Colorado, which, let's be honest, or wherever, it's essentially a lot of white
It's
people.
white and Hispanic.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's like you're calling it racist and you're boycotting it, but like, you're really just shooting yourself in the
It's
foot
gonna
here.
hurt, and those are the people. That money is no longer gonna be there, so that means they don't get that job. They no
Exactly.
longer have, and so I don't think it's a win.
I think it's stupid. I think it's so.
I think it's for the kind of unrest for like what the details were about it to like put again, racist is a buzzword now and they just use that for anything, but it's just it's like it's annoying. I don't really think it's inherently racist. I don't see any details in there that's like inherently racist because they talk about taking away from like because of voter ID and people that don't have ID, poor communities, which typically are more African Americans, but it's like
No, that or it's like Hispanics.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you do not have an ID, or like, if you're not a legal citizen of the U.S., you shouldn't vote.
No.
Like, you
can't
become a legal citizen.
You're not a part of the country. Yeah. Like, you're not a citizen.
You shouldn't.
Like,
you don't pay taxes.
It's common
like,
sense.
You don't have an ID. Like, you're not voting.
And if you're a citizen, you like the availability from what I know from anybody who's actually more informed than me on it. It's like if you're a citizen, you have it's easy to get an ID of some like identification of some sort. Like it's not like you're not breaking the bank.
Like, I don't have one. It's technically just an ID card.
Yeah. Something simple.
$20.
I just don't.
That's one of the things that they're saying.
It may be ignorance, but I just don't see a problem with that.
And I understand some people don't have the means to get there, and they don't have the means to whatever. But if you really like are in that position, are you really worried about voting that much?
No,
I'm not. I wouldn't be. But I mean, then there's a whole rabbit hole you can go down. Like, oh yeah, but if you can't vote, you can't express your opinion. You can't maybe get out up under the laws. So I understand where that comes from, but you should have your ID. You should be able to prove you're a citizen of the U.S. or at least like maybe not an ID if you have a Social Security card. Like let's make it that.
It's even just
because everybody has Social Security.
I feel like it's simple as having a license to drive. Like
right.
Like it's like
or if you get pulled over, or not even pulled over, if the cop stops you and you're walking, or they ask for your ID and you say you don't have. Isn't there a law that you?
No, you don't have to.
The failure to identify.
No, No, cop doesn't not have that right.
I believe there's a law if you don't have any ID.
If you're trespassing, yes.
Okay, maybe.
But if you're on public land, like if you're just walking out in the open, it's like, hey, let me see your ID. It's like
you don't have to do that.
You have no reason.
Get arrested because you forgot your wallet at home.
Yeah, you can't. He can't force you to identify yourself unless you're a suspect of a crime. Honestly, I don't even think you have to do it then. Yeah. So if you're on somebody else's property, probably though.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not exactly too keen on the law, but.
It's an interesting topic, it is. And again, it's something I wish I could discuss more and be like a little bit more firm on my stance on it. But it's like I can also recognize what I don't know. And so I know there might be some things there that people are more upset about. But just on like on the surface level, from what I've seen, it's like I don't see any real reason to have unrest. But I feel like people will get. I feel like it's
It's easy. Well, for me, it's just like the left used a lot of the weapons that they're outlawing in this bill.
Yeah.
They used a lot of them to win the election.
Right.
And a lot of them bordered on illegal or looked frowned upon. So like them passing, it's like, oh, we got to do something about this. So what's the best thing to do nowadays? Call something racist or homophobic or try to get it canceled.
The buzzwords.
So
because cancel culture, it gets its grips.
I just think it's crazy they took away the All-Star game in a predominantly black city.
Mm-hmm. It's counterproductive.
To like, yeah, we won. It's like, no, y'all didn't.
Not at all.
You do not realize how much money was lost in Atlanta. Atlanta has always been a predominantly black city. Like it's been very favorable to black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So
like first black like police.
I don't understand why you would
like
try to hurt yourself. I don't understand that.
There's
like,
no
because the people aren't really in mind from the people.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the people doing it.
It's not the people,
but it's the left.
Exactly.
It's the radicalized left. It's not only like some people on the left are like, "What are y'all doing?"
Yeah, it's the radical, and now we talked about like it's the extreme on both sides, or which are really the problem. Like the extremes on any side, I'm a firm believer on. It's like it's because as soon as you're so dogmatic about your opinion, and you stand by this, and this is my team, this is my side, and this is what I believe in, it's like at that point you've already damned yourself. Like.
So let me ask you then, if you were a business, or I'll give you a devil's advocate situation here. The director of the Black Panther 2 refused to meet with them, and he essentially had said that this is taking away something from his city, Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that is why he is continuing to film here. And so he is now getting backlash because he is bringing something that is a huge icon.
Yeah.
And he is
still in Georgia.
So if you, what would you have done?
For me, I would have stayed. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think there needs to be some crazy stance on absolutely everything. And there's this hyperbole on like every single issue. It's like there are so many more things at play than just you winning a political argument with the people you see on Facebook. It's so like people are so self-serving. It's insane, and like they'll like it's even like the Democrats did an absolutely fantastic play of manipulating the youth on any sort of voting because again, like they typically the least informed. I think most of their information on social media, old people do too. Don't get me wrong, but they live their lives on social media, and so when you're constantly pushed, where if you don't feel this way, you are a bad person. They played the moral aspect. And so at that point, it's like, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. I love Biden. Trump is evil. And it's like, look, I don't like Trump either. Like, I don't. But it's like, when the reason you don't like Trump is because it's just Antichrist, you're evil, and like Biden is good and the world will be good. It's like, dude, you don't know shit either. You don't know anything. You have no clue what's going on at all.
So you said you like Biden? I'm impartial to politics.
Yeah, exactly. Like, politics is not my strength. Like, me personally, I think it's all a lot of just figureheads right now anyway. But
I don't think
Biden is fit mentally, but again, I'm not.
That's what my question is.
I'm not
From his mental aspect, you never have ever had a vice president fly on Air Force One with the president. Ever. You always separate them. Why is she always next to him?
Well, she's going to be the president within a year.
That's been his theory for a while.
Yeah, well,
I believe that, but I want to know what
if you realize the media says the Biden and Harris administration.
Mm-hmm. It's never
been that way. It's always been the Obama administration, the Trump administration.
You play the fact that it's a black woman. Like, it's like that's what you play on.
The crazy part is she's one of the least likable. I wouldn't say qualified. She's pretty qualified as far as practicing law. Yes. She's a very intelligent person.
For sure.
She's not likable.
But she's not likable.
She's not a good person.
They literally didn't vote for her. Nobody voted for her. She was out in the first round of the Democratic election.
Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her.
That's why they didn't want Tulsi.
No, because they pushed her away and they have Kamala Harris, and it's like, oh, black woman. People follow that narrative. Boom, boom. It's like obviously not the most informed in this either.
You know,
she's not even black.
So there you go. Thank you for the actual information. Yeah. But that's the narrative that's the push that I see, right?
She's part black though.
What's that? Native American?
She's like from the West Indies or something.
Yeah.
Family, which her family also owned slaves, so we can also go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, Kamala Harris is.
And then like it's something you told me, even with her past about like even the fact of who she is, what she's done about keeping innocent people on death row, like for her own numbers. Like
California, yeah, she was one of the best prosecutors that ever stepped foot in California. She had 99% conviction rate, and she's very proud of that.
Yeah.
So she helped pass legislation that put mostly minorities behind bars for small drug crimes. She also suppressed evidence multiple times against death row inmates.
Yeah.
That had a ton of evidence that they were innocents. There's something called the Innocence Project.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually on a episode of Joe Rogan, and they're like really liberal people. But they were like, if Biden picks Harris, I'll probably vote for Trump. I never thought I'd say that.
Wow.
Yeah. They said she literally is the devil walking. Yeah. Because like they had all this evidence, and her office would kept like no.
That's how I feel about ACO. What's her name?
Oh, AOC. Yeah. She's just an idiot.
Oh, she makes me mad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, that was pretty deep on the politics side. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.